Okay, well, we're approaching the final pitch for UTEST 2021. I think what's interesting about this next group is they're actually repeat entrepreneurs coming through the UTEST program. These gentlemen were in one of the UTEST cohorts from a number of years ago. And it turned out that they got that company acquired by a semiconductor company. So they've come back into the UTEST program to work on a new opportunity. And Powearble, I'm happy to introduce, is building a new way of tracking health vitals through energy harvesting. It's on, you're on mute.
Thanks for the intro, Hassan. Please let me know when can I start. We are running a little bit ahead of time, so I don't know if you should wait.
You're good
to go. All right, perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much for the intro, Hassan. Yes, as Hassan mentioned, we are like repeat entrepreneurs going through the UTEST program one more time. So hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Okay, let me see. I don't see. Yeah. Hassan, can you confirm if you can hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right, perfect. All right. Okay, so my name is Hassan Zaman, and today I am here to talk about our new startup, Powearble, integrating power in wearables. So in Powearble, our vision is to really promise a longer and healthier life to everyone so that we can do more, achieve more, and get the most out of our lives. Right now, the issue is due to various diseases and disabilities, we lose on average of 10 years of our lives. There is a very well-known term from that. It's called DALY, Disability Adjusted Life Year, which is basically a measure of overall disease burden, cumulative number of years that we lost due to ill health, disability, and early death. Now, due to various injuries such as back injuries, spine or joint injury, foot disorders, we get affected seriously on our mobility, and loss of mobility ultimately affects our physical health as well as our mental health. Fortunately, most of this can be avoided by minor corrections in our movement and postures, such as basic activities, how we walk, run, or sit. Right now, the current technologies out there has severe limitations. Impaired walking habit, such as impaired gait pattern, results in falls-related injuries, arthritis, damage to the foot and joints that ultimately limits our mobility. And all of that can be avoided by improving, optimizing our gait pattern. However, the current solutions are very resource intensive and requires complicated lab setup, trained operator. Most importantly, one gets to diagnose his problem only after it occurs. So there is no like early detection for such damage to the foot or mobility disruptions. So in Powearble, we really feel there is a tremendous opportunity here for a technology-based interventions for gait disorders that are cost-effective, willingly taken up, and can provide immediate positive effect on walking. So in Powearble, we are focused on developing technology of the future, where we transform a state-of-the-art gait analysis lab into a very easy-to-use, intuitive mobile app connected to a smart shoe insole. So gait analysis lab inside a shoe insole, it will provide continuous fitness and wellness monitoring, as well as remote access to the data, and it will enable many other features as I'll be speaking throughout my presentation. So the first product that we are targeting is called Footnote. So this is a smart insole that features a mobile software platform providing AI-enabled early diagnosis, injury prevention warning, easy-to-use advanced health monitoring, continuous wellness guidance, including safety training, as well as it's a remote healthcare assistant from professionals. On the hardware side, we have disruptive technologies and innovations in the hardware. It's going to be a self-powered smart insole. That means it does not require any additional charging or battery. It's really a true clean energy because it harvests energy from natural movement of the body. Like for example, when someone is walking, it harvests energy from that movement. So it's very convenient. It doesn't cause any extra device. And also it has a very high accuracy because a shoe insole is in touch with your skin, as well as it has inherently all the information about your body weight, number of footsteps, how fast one person is walking or running. All of that information is readily available with very high accuracy. Now, in terms of the core technologies, we have two areas of proprietary technologies here. One is related to the power electronics inspired sensing. So it's basically an electronic circuit that combines energy harvesting with sensing, that maximizes energy harvesting, lightweight and small, reduces the cost. Also, it has a smart power management scheme that provides the self-powered hardware for efficient and responsible data gathering. On the AI side, our proprietary AI-enabled application is very smart, provides smart health monitoring, gait and posture detection, injury prevention such as hip or knee, and also it enables to diagnose for things such as neural disorders such as Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease. Many of those diseases can actually be detected from your basic movement of 2 feet very early on. So it has that AI-enabled feature that we are currently developing. And the remote diagnosis and health advice service provided by the professional, also the same technology can be adopted for other areas beyond healthcare, such as VR and gaming. So in terms of applications, posture and motion, as I already mentioned, gait control, also the health overall, health of the feet, mobility and injury prevention, monitoring and correcting of our walking, running, and lifting exercises. On the service side, we can provide remote and continuous monitoring, and that allows early detection and rehabilitation, assisting doctors and health professionals with better and more efficient diagnosis. Also with AI, ultimately, we are targeting the app to become an e-health advisor. Also safety and environmental awareness, such as assistance for visually impaired, fall prevention, location guidance through the GPS, and the vital signs that any other wearable device can currently provide can also be integrated into the shoe insole, such as body temperature, pulse rate, ECG, blood pressure. All of that can be done on the shoe insole side as well. So in terms of go-to-market strategy, the IP that we have developed can be licensed depending on the area of interest. Also, we have a plan to design integrated circuits, IC, so that we can work directly with the OEMs, such as Nike or Under Armour, to integrate our technology in their product offering. And also, ultimately, if on the product level, if you'd like to directly work with retailers, such as Running Room, while there are like shoe insoles being sold separately, we can provide our smart insole through the retail channel to reach out to the consumers as well. On the software side, we are going to provide the native application that connects with the shoe insole, gathers all the information about gait analysis to prevent any injuries. Also, we are going to provide the API for third-party developers to come up with application-specific mobile apps. So those are different areas where the revenue model is coming from: products and ICs, smart shoe insoles and smart shoes, OEMs that we can directly work with, single IC combining energy harvesting, accurate sensing, and Bluetooth communication once we design and complete the implementation of our IC. Also on the apps, we can provide remote health advice from professionals that can become a service offering. Also, the data itself is very, very valuable, and the potential users could be medical professionals, workplace safety, and health insurance companies. So insurance companies, such as like automotive insurance, the way they want to keep track of your driving experience or how fast you are driving, they also want to know about the health of a person for health insurance purposes. So that's another tremendous area that we see we can grow with the data that we are collecting. So in terms of opportunity, the market is pretty big, and also it is, the nice thing is it is expected to grow at a 13.8% CAGR over the next 6 to 7 years. Right now, the prominent players in the wearable tech markets are all big tech companies such as Google, Apple, and Samsung. Smart shoes are right now, it's a little bit niche market, and it's a relatively newer market. Big techs don't really have any offering there, also like very limited offering from few other companies. And we believe we have really the breakthrough technologies to create our value and growth starting from that market segment. And this growth in this market is mainly due to the overall growing concerns of our health and well-being, and the wearable devices and activity trackers are becoming increasingly more popular. So this is our TAM, SAM, and SOM estimation. Even with a very conservative estimation, we have a pretty large $370 million SOM that Powearble technologies can directly address in this market. So there are several relevant products in the market. However, these companies are mainly system integrators. They don't really have any disruptive technologies such as we do in terms of like energy harvesting from the natural movement of the body. Also, medical devices are more specialized equipment. They are not for regular use. Powearble, in fact, can become like a supplier to these companies with our sensor being integrated with the energy harvesting module. In terms of the team, as initially Hassan mentioned, myself and Behzad, we have gone through this process before, taking a technology from the university and building a successful company around it. Also, Professor Alexander Prodich is part of our team, who has been 2 times UFT Inventors of the Year. And this startup, we have Voin and Alexander Dejanovic. They have respective expertise in the area of AI, embedded software development, as well as kinesiology and spine rehabilitation and posture and motion correction areas. So in terms of the financing, before we talk about the ask, let me first quickly review what we have talked so far in the different areas of this business that we can grow. So starting from the smart shoe insole, in order to get to that product, we are going to develop integrated circuit that are very small, very efficient, and can combine energy harvesting with integrated biometric sensing. That IC itself can become a very valuable business. The potential commercialization partners, some of the potential companies are named here that we have personally worked before, and we understand their pain point or what they're really currently looking for as a solution. We believe our IC can directly target to some of those areas where energy harvesting is directly going to be impactful. Also, in terms of areas, I mean, anything that has a motion associated with it, for example, the tires of a car, as it's rotating, there is energy that we can harvest, and that is good enough to power like tire pressure sensors and auxiliary circuits in the automotive. So that helps with that sort of application. Also, IoT is a big area that this type of IC can easily be adopted. On the software and the data side, health and safety, as well as VR and gaming, some of the applications we have already mentioned, and AI and services like e-doctor, advanced training, for example, any physical activity that requires good coordination between the 2 feet, as well as you have to be careful about your posture to get the best skill out of a person, can become part of that advanced training that our AI can provide. So right now in this round, we are looking for $5 million investment, and that will be spent over the next 2 to 3 years. So far, we have been bootstrapping. There has been in-kind contributions as well as out-of-pocket expenses. Also, there is a no string attached University of Toronto research grant that we have been heavily relying on for this development work. So now, in terms of the prototype development, I have a quick video here that I will quickly show you. So we have access to a gate analysis lab, which we use as a large-scale prototype test facility, pressure sensing mat, a treadmill, walk with motion and posture sensing. These are all commercially available, very large equipment. Data acquisition that can be done in real time so that the computer terminal can show this measurement data as someone walks and moves. We have access to that technology right now. Also scanning the spine for posture correction. This is Alex, one of the co-founder of the company. He's working in analyzing the data, and then we can reconstruct the 3D model of the spine to really look into that posture. And the prototype development lab, here is the flexible PCB that we have designed along with a flexible foot pressure sensor. And this is Kumar, one of the team members working in our lab in this prototype development effort. This is a close-up view of the flexible PCB. And on the software and the AI side, also we have made a lot of progress. This is Nicola, one of the team members working on the software side. We have written lines and lines of code to develop the software. Here is the mobile app that currently he's showing is Bluetooth connected, which is development board. And as he presses button, it is reacting and showing like the pressure being placed. And this is really our prototype where you have a shoe insole and the pressure map and pressure sensor and a flexible PCB-based prototype that really proves this whole concept that I have been talking about. So, all right. So thank you very much for your attention. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to take them now.
Thank you, Ehsan, for that presentation. So one question right off the bat, what are the key differentiators between the Powearble technology and other existing and emerging competitions in this market?
All right, thank you. So for that, you still see my slides, right, Hassan?
No, but okay,
okay.
Now. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. So the existing products in the market, they have a lot of limitation in terms of the duration of the data being gathered, as well as none of them has the ability to harvest energy from the movement. So they rely on the battery and the charging of the device, which is really inconvenient way to have wearable devices. So energy harvesting, that's one of our key differentiation, as well as the AI-enabled app that continuously monitors the movement and provides real-time guidance and detects any issue ahead of time, not after, but ahead of time. Those are the key differentiations that we have in Powearble.
Okay, next question. How confident are you that you can harvest enough energy from the natural movement to make your product self-powered?
Yeah, good question. Thank you. Yeah, so right now, it is clearly proven in many technical papers, such as there is a big research paper from MIT that shows in our natural movement of the body, we actually have a lot of energy that is there. The question or the challenge right now is how much of that you can really harvest or extract. So we have a IP on a power electronics inspired circuit that allows us to maximize that energy harvesting. Also, our sensors are integrated. So in a normal application where the sensors are more like power hungry or they actually sink power, in our case, those sensors are harvesting energy for us and giving us that extra efficiency so that we can rely on them to provide, extract enough energy out of the natural movement. So on that one, we are very confident. We have an IP protecting the electronic circuit that allows us to harvest enough energy to make our devices self-powered.
You talked about a $5 million investment. What do you want to achieve with that amount of money?
So with $5 million investments, really, I mean, we are very confident about our technology and we want to move fast. We have done it in the past with another startup. We know like what it takes to take one prototype to a IC level, commercialization level product. So we just want to make sure we have enough runway to get this product out there. So that includes both the IC, the software and data, and the AI. So that will help us to really open up all these revenue streams and possibilities to start making revenues on the different segments of this business. Mm-hmm.
Given your group's experience with A-Pulse Power and getting it acquired with Solana, how did you come up with this shoe insole type of solution? Like, how did you make that jump? Because you were working on just power electronics before.
Correct. So the A-Pulse Power was founded based on a very simple idea that how you make power converters smaller, more compact, and more efficient. And there we have successfully proven that all these power adapters that we use to charge our laptop, smartphones, televisions, they are way too oversized. And with the innovation, you can really shrink their size. So this is more of a next step. Like now there is a limit of how much smaller you can make the power adapters. But the next step, logical next step is to, okay, can you really make your power converters to extract energy from the natural movement of the body so that you don't really even need to worry about charging your device anymore, let alone be like big and bulky chargers. So this is really a technology for the future, and it's kind of like a logical extension of what we have done in the past, which is making the power adapters more efficient. Now we are actually making the power adapters disappear so that by extracting energy from the movement of the natural body.
Okay. Next question, is your main go-to-market strategy with existing footwear companies or getting it directly to customers on your own?
So right now it's a little bit of both. I think a lot of that will depend on our potential investors and firming up on our go-to-market plan. Right now, of course, we are open to both considering partnership with existing athletic shoemakers such as Nike and Under Armour. Those guys, they already have some limited offering in this smart shoe market. So we are very excited and look forward to explore any possibilities of partnering up with them. But at the same time, also working with the retailers to sell the ultimate product, and the IC business, the integrated circuit business, that is also another attractive segment of this business that we want to explore to scale up the opportunities.
Okay. Have you done any competitive positioning analysis, such as a SWOT analysis for Powearble?
Yes. We have actually gone through a full-on valuation analysis for Powearble. This is like a snapshot of the SWOT analysis. So as I mentioned, the strength is really right now our multidisciplinary expert team. We have the breakthrough technologies. There is a lot of environmental benefit because you don't have to worry about the charging your device, the plastic associated with that, the charger, all of that is eliminated. It's a self-powered device. Also, we have expertise in the previous startup or scaling up a business from university technology. The weakness right now is in terms of the branding, because we are not coming from a big brand, so we have to just explore that option. Like, can we work with the big brands out there to establish sales channels? This product complexity, of course, as you already saw, it's fairly complex. It requires hardware, software, co-development. So that's the part we need a bigger team. We need to make sure we have the right skill set to ensure the development goes smoothly. But the opportunity is it's really an emerging market with a huge potential growth, and the market is already big enough to target. And wearable is considered a new wave of computing, so we are very excited about this. And also recently there has been growth in telemedicine, health and fitness in general. Also, like a large percentage of the people are aging population, and this demand for wearable for a better well-being is always there. And in terms of the threat, I mean, this is a very active field, which is not necessarily a bad thing. An active field usually means there is more interest from the consumer. There are a growing number of wearable startups right now. So we really want to move fast and make this product ready for commercialization. And that's why we'd like to kind of complete our funding as soon as possible so that we can just focus on the development and make our product ready in time to capture as an early adopter, as a big percentage of the market as soon as possible.
Thank you very much for your presentation, Hassan. Excellent work.